Hi. Oh, sorry, so loud. Okay. Good evening. My name is Ngui, and I'm from Petaling Jaya Gospel Hall, which is here. I knew about RBS through my brother, and I always wanted to go ever since because I thought it was cool. But as the RBS forms came, I felt that I needed to do something to come back to God, to fix my relationship with God. So in 2015, I went to this camp called Tree Holiday Camp, for short, 3HC. I remember giving a testimony on 3HC graduation night also. And the last thing I said in my testimony was that 3HC was a stepping stone to a whole new journey. But I was wrong. 3HC was a stepping stone to a whole crazy roller coaster ride, but mostly going downhill. So probably God was testing me to see if I would apply anything I learned from 3HC, but I failed. I then became a Saturday and Sunday Christian, just not knowing what I was doing, just praying to God when I'm desperate. And well, honestly, I didn't prioritize God at all. Well, I mostly prioritized studies, entertainment, and a lot more, but most of all, myself. A tiny bit of me wanted to get to know God better and to get closer with Him. But I procrastinated and turned away from God and made a whole bunch of excuses. I was worried so much about so many things and I didn't want to let go or commit anything to God. I felt that I wasn't worthy to bring anything to God. One of the first few quiet times that we did in the morning was a passage about the prodigal son, which I felt God was talking to me through it. The part which spoke to me was when the lost son said, "I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired men." And when he went back to his father, he was welcomed with open arms. I felt that I have tried to avoid God and I wanted to turn back to Him. And I asked myself, was I even worthy to go back to God? But then all this while, God was like the Father. He was faithful and was all along waiting for me to come back to Him with open arms, no matter how lost I was. The second thing I learned and came to realize is that I have put negativity as my idol. Not that I worship negativity, but I put it first in my life and I let it control me. And another thing is that I've been always worried about what God's will is for me, what He wants me to do with my life. And now that I got my SPM results, I have no clue what I want to do with my life, and I do not know what direction God will lead me. So I have no clue what is up ahead of me. So throughout RBS, I learned to understand what this statement meant, that Jesus Christ is Lord. So I'm pretty sure you can see over there, Jesus Christ is Lord. So yeah. Well, I come to church every week not understanding what the Bible verse on the wall meant. But now I understand that Jesus Christ is Lord. He's a lot over my life, a lot over my negativity, my problems, and everything else. And He is in control of everything. And He comes first, even though I worry about what is up ahead in my life. But I will trust in God because He is Lord over my life. The third thing that I have learned in RBS is to step out of my comfort zone, especially to serve God. I had to step out of my comfort zone to speak to other people, and especially through missions. I was made team leader together with my friend Samuel, and I was leading a team which had people who I really look up to, and I'm actually really better off being a follower. But God has put me in the same team as them for a reason. And my teammates have really helped me a lot. They have encouraged me and supported me. They prayed for me, which made me want to pray for others as well. Whenever I felt like I screwed up as a team leader, they encouraged me and said that I did my best. Through missions, we had to do things even though it was the first time for some of us. Like for my friends, they worship-led, and for me, I had to play piano for the first time in front of everybody and be involved in children's ministry. One of the biggest challenges for my team was to communicate in Mandarin. And to lead the service in Mandarin as well. In my team, some of us weren't even Chinese, and most of us were just bananas. So, but God still used us despite of our broken Mandarin. And all we had to do was just say yes to serving God. Because if we keep saying no, we will never get out of our comfort zone to serve God. And through this, I've learned to serve God with a heart for God, to serve Him only and not to please others. Okay, so lastly, I want to talk about living in community. I think God has truly blessed us with a Christian community in RBS to joke around together, to fool around during fun times. But we really have built each other up and carried each other's burdens. We also have prayed with one another, supporting one another and encouraging one another. And I know most of us have shared with one another that once we step out of this safe bubble in RBS, that we would backslide, lose our spiritual discipline, and fall away from God. Once our fire dies out in us, but let us be accountable with one another and pray for each other, build each other up as a body of Christ. And remember our quiet time, we did this quiet time about running the race. So let us run the race together, picking each other up if we stumble, giving each other words of encouragement so that we can complete this race. It may not be easy, and realistically, it is going to be hard. But with God's strength and power, we can do this. And lastly, I want to thank the staff and the mission team supervisors for sacrificing so much time and energy for us to make RBS happen. And I want to thank God for this experience.